6 o'clock.
Good. The Board of Trustees of Crystal City Independent School District will meet in a regular session at 6 p.m. Monday, August 9, 2021, in the Administrative Building, Boardroom 613 West Zavala Street, in Crystal City, Texas. Number 1, call meeting to order. Time is
6 o'clock.
All right, number 2, roll call and establishment of a quorum. Ms. Carlos?
Mr. Eric Garcia.
Here.
Mr. Reyes Espinosa.
Here.
Mr. Cruz Mata.
Here.
Mr. Victor Bonilla III. Absent. Mrs. Nora Flores Guerrero.
No.
Absent. Mrs. Melissa Marquez Guerrero. Absent. Mrs. Peggy Young.
Present.
All right, for the record, we do have a quorum. So Melissa. All right, number 3, moment of reflection. All right, number 4, audience and patrons.
None, sir.
Nobody signed up. Number 5, consent action items. A, consideration to approve the minutes for the July 6, 2021 special and July 19, 2021 regular board meeting. Is that ready?
Any corrections to the minutes? I recommend the approval of the July 6, 2021 and the July 19, 2021 regular board meetings.
A motion.
I got a motion by Mr. Espinosa,
Second.
second by Mr. Cruz Mata. Any comments or questions? All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes 4-0. 5B, consider to approve the monthly bills for July 2021.
They remain consent. Mr. Thomas.
Consent?
A motion.
I got a motion by Mr. Espinosa,
Second.
second by Mr. Mata. Any comments or questions? All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes 4-0. Number 6, action items. A, discussion action to approve the employee health insurance benefits package for the 2021-2022 school year.
Mr. President, members of the board, with us today is our employee benefits liaison, Mr. Joseph Jobs. If you could please recognize him. He has a presentation on this year's plan.
Evening, everybody.
Good evening.
So I put together here a quick little history for you all to look at. What I like to do is we look at a number of years in order to get some perspective on where we've been. If you look at this page, I could easily pick one year and say, hey, look how great we've done. But that's not fair, so I like to do a presentation like this that will give you some indication of how we've done over a number of years. That history of actual cost paid is broken down into our fixed costs. That's the cost for the actual premium for the insurance policies we buy. We're not actually self-insured. We buy policies to protect us against any large claimants. Or even an umbrella policy that protects us against a number of large claims. So we buy insurance policies. We pay Blue Cross to administer our program. It is our program, and it is somewhat self-insured. So we pay Blue Cross to do that administration. So that's up there at the top of the page, and then you can see the total of the fixed costs for this year, which we've annualized 9 months worth of data, that cost should come in around $806,000. Our paid claims cost this year, a little high. We've had just 3 individually large claims that represented almost 25% of our total claim cost this year. So we had just 3 people that ran up a lot of claims and kind of caused a little spike. If you were to look at that paid claim line throughout the years, it's been relatively stable up until this year. So we're proposing that annualizing 9 months worth of data that we're going to come in around 2.6 million. So that gives us a total cost this year. Again, we've got 3 more months to go. Hopefully it'll get a little better than this, but we don't know. We're just annualizing 9 months. But based on that information, we're coming in around $3.4 million. That is significantly higher than where we were last year. Last year we were at 2.8. Now I did some little extra work on this page to try to show you that last year we had a particularly good year. Last year our costs were actually down over 7% from the prior year. So that really good year is kind of skewing how this year has done compared to just our most recent history. So what I did was just to show, if we just go back 1 more year to 2018 and just average the 2 years from 2018 to this year, it's about a 6% increase per year. Now that's not great, but the industry average is about 8 to 10% per year, and we've beat that industry almost every year except this year. So, and that's something else I've done. If you look at this page here where I've kind of put the red arrows, and if you go from last year, 2019, all the way back to 2015, our costs were virtually flat. Our costs last year were 2.8 million, and you go all the way back to 2015, our costs were at 2.8 million. So we have done really well at managing it over the years, having a little bit of a spike this year, which is represented by that 3.4 million. So we went into negotiations with Blue Cross. I've been working with Blue Cross for about 60 days now, culminating at this presentation. And we were able to negotiate, even from when I made my first presentation to Superintendent Ramirez, we were able to get Blue Cross to come off of their original renewal numbers by $58,000. So this far left-hand column is where we project next year to go, and we project the fixed costs to be down to $771,000. Our claim costs, because these 3 individuals are not serious ongoing medical problems, we anticipate the claims to kind of calm back down a little bit at about 2.4. So we actually propose that we are expecting next year to come in about 3.2 million, which would be 7% under this year, and getting us back in line to where we've been the prior 5 years. One thing I do want to point out is that if you'll notice at the very top, on the fixed costs, there's rebates that we get from the drug manufacturers. And a year ago, I made a recommendation to this board that we accept a change in our prescription drug program that was negotiated with Blue Cross, whereas we would be able to retain a greater portion of the rebates. And I just want to show you that it works. So, you know, the prior 2 years we had rebates around 70,000. This year our rebates have jumped to 120,000, and next year Blue Cross is saying that our rebates should jump even greater to 182,000. So I just want to point that out. I don't know how many of you all were on the board a year ago, but when we made that decision to go with that different drug benefit with Blue Cross, it actually did pay off as promised. So pretty happy with that. So anyway, that kind of gives you just a quick little recap of where we've been the last 5 years and where we think next year is going to be based on the negotiated renewal that we were able to get with Blue Cross. And while you mull that over, if you don't have any questions, I wanted to also, we did this last couple of years, because we've had some board members say, well, what's TRS doing? Every time we have a new superintendent come in, one of the first things I do is I get with the superintendent and I say, you know, we've been able over the years to really retain good quality employees, attract good employees with our benefits. Our benefits are so much better than what they would get with TRS. TRS, I follow them very closely every year, and their rates go up anywhere from 5 to 10% every year, increase their rates 5 to 10%, and every single year they decrease their benefits. And we haven't. We've pretty much kept our benefits the same. We've made a few little changes over the years, so that the difference in these benefits has gotten significant. If you look at the high deductible plan with the TRS, now the deductibles are about the same. TRS is a $2,800 deductible, but then they pay 80% of your bills. Our plan is a $3,000 deductible, and then we pay 100% of the bills for those people on that plan. So the maximum out of pocket for our high deductible program is $3,000. The maximum out of pocket for TRS is $6,900. A huge difference in cost when you take into consideration the people who buy that plan are buying it just for catastrophic type protection. They don't get all the normal co-pays that you would get under some of these other plans. And in every single one of our plans, these costs include dental, comprehensive dental program, and of course TRS does not. The mid-plan is where most of our employees are. More than half of our employees participate in this mid-plan. TRS keeps changing that to the point now where the plan that they're pushing is this alternate program that has a $2,500 calendar year deductible. We still have just a $500 calendar year deductible, a huge difference. They virtually have no benefits for prescription drugs until you've satisfied that $2,500 deductible. Whereas our plan has a $5 copay for generic, $30 for preferred name brand. So their benefits under their prescription drug program have deteriorated every single year to the point now where you might as well not have a drug benefit if you don't get anything for the first $2,500. Maximum out of pockets, again, huge difference. Ours is $3,000. Someone goes in for surgery and incurs $50,000 to $100,000 worth of medical bills. The most they're going to be out is $3,000. With that TRS alternate program, they're at $8,150. And then one of the biggest complaints I hear from people who have gone with this TRS is this thinks that it's something they can handle and you don't need to go see a specialist. You don't get to. They have total control of your access to health care. And most people don't want that. The last one is a high plan. We don't have many people on this high plan. In fact, TRS doesn't even like to offer the high plan any longer. We've only got 6% of our participants. But it's a $300 deductible with a $1,500 out of pocket. TRS is all the way up to a $1,000 deductible, $7,900 out of pocket. So big differences, and I know that your staff over the years has used this tool again to try to attract and retain good quality people here in the district. And the last page is just, this is something we do every single year. This is a tool that we use during the open enrollment period that we hand out to your employees. And it kind of summarizes all three plans along with the cost to the employees. And I put this together for this next coming year without any changes. So this is obviously a decision you all need to make whether or not you want to increase the employees' contributions for these benefits. But so I'm just showing this to you with no changes. And of course, we would redo this if you all decided that you wanted to increase employee contributions. But it gives you an idea of what the employees are currently paying for any of these three plans. And that's almost down at the bottom where it says employee pay, and it shows it monthly and then bi-monthly, which would be per paycheck.
And this is with the same contribution from last year?
Yes. Mm-hmm. So that's fast and furious, but in a nutshell, that's kind of where we've been. A nice little history of how things have been going. We had a really good run for 5 years in a row where costs virtually didn't change. A little hiccup this year. We expected to calm back down next year. With that little hiccup, Blue Cross came up with a pretty big increase, and through the work that Mr. Ramirez and I have been kind of beating on Blue Cross a little bit, we were able to get some money back off of that increase to the tune of about $58,000, which is reflected in those numbers. You can actually see our fixed costs are expected to actually go down next year from this year, in large part due to that extra rebates from the prescription drugs, but it still counts.
If we stay with the same contribution, how much more will the staff have to pay?
If we stay with the same contribution, I'm sorry, what was the question?
What we give the employees, this thing's going up, how much is it going up for the employees?
Well, we expect it to actually go down next year. So the bump was this year. We're almost through. We've got 3 more months to go, and we're almost through month number 10. So we really got about 2 more months to go. So the bump really was this year. It's already been incurred and you know, the money spent. So next year, if you're asking me what I expect next year to be versus this year, it's going to go back down. I don't know how much, it's a guess. We could have 3 new people replace the 3 that we had this year with large claimants, but that hasn't been our history. I mean, if you look at the large claims, I keep track of this every year, and there's little bumps up and down. This year was kind of a big bump, so I don't expect that another year in a row, and I do expect our costs to calm down, and I think next year should be a little less than this year.
On the dental insurance, how much is given as far as your expenses per an individual, $1,000 or?
Well, the contribution, you know, and that's kind of changed here the last couple of years because of the way the state funding went. And so, if you look, well, we had a big jump in the funding of the program back in 2019, so 2 years ago. This board of trustees took into consideration that we were losing some of the money that the state would normally give us and tried to close the gap between the funding and the actual cost of the program. So there was a pretty big jump. I think we're at about $472 per employee per month. I have the number in my briefcase, I can look up the exact amount, but that's the funding that comes from the district. About $472 per employee per month. Oh, in fact, that is on that last page because I have the total cost here at $473. I missed it by $1. And so, if you'll notice too on that last page, which is that little 1-pager that we give out to your employees during the open enrollment period, we keep that Plan 1. That's a high deductible health plan. It's eligible for an employee to establish a health savings account, which means they can put money pre-tax into a special bank account to pay for some of their out-of-pocket expenses. And those are very strict criteria that the federal government puts in place in order to establish a health savings account. So that Plan 1 has the least amount of benefits. You don't have a prescription drug card, you don't have co-pays for doctors, you just have that deductible and then 100% coverage. And so we have that plan has always been established where the district pays all of the costs. So employees can participate in the Plan 1 without any cost to them. Now, if they want to cover their dependents, there's extra cost. But just to cover themselves, there is a plan that's still free. Like I said, it's the least benefits, but it's a really good plan, particularly for the young, healthy, bulletproof employees who don't think they need anything. Well, hey, at least take this and have some basic protection.
Not any more questions. Administration recommends the approval of the employee health insurance benefits package for the 21-22 school year as presented.
My motion.
We got a motion by Mr. Espinosa.
Okay.
Second by Mr. Cruz Mata. Any comments or questions? Nora, can you hear us?
I can hear you, Eric.
Okay. You got any questions?
No,
Okay. All right, all in favor, please raise your hand. Nora?
aye,
Yes?
aye.
Aye.
Yes, sir.
Okay, motion passes 5-0.
What time do we mark for Ms. Guerrero?
She came in at 6:06 is what I saw.
Hello, Mr. Ramirez. Sorry, I was a
Good
little late.
evening.
Everybody, yes, hello.
Thank you, sir, for your presentation. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It'll be the next,
That way we can go to the,
yeah, he's next, B.
okay,
All right, item B, discussion action to approve the property casualty premiums for September 1st, 2021 and September 1st, 2022.
And Mr. President, we have Mr. Frank Pruski in the audience, and thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And he's,
Any questions that I need to address the board?
he has the floor. It'll be in your package under B.
This time, if you're looking at the illustration, you will see that your building values have increased approximately $2.4 million. And that's coming from a cost inflation situation with building costs throughout the whole industry. We did sustain a 9.75 rate increase. This is to the entire pool that this program writes insurance for. There are school districts that have hail losses, freeze losses, hurricane damage, wind damage, and the loss ratios last year were prolific. And on the bottom, you'll see that the premium moves from 227, 171 to 248, 8 to 43. Also was highlighted in yellow. Last year, we had a $100,000 deductible for wind and hail. The quote that you received from your carrier, which every school district got, was a 1.1% deductible with a $500,000 minimum deductible pertaining to wind and hail. In the red, at the bottom of the page, the district wanted to move it back down to a $100,000 deductible. It would be $55,085 additional to the $248,843. We've been fortunate in Crystal City where we haven't sustained many wind and hail losses, but in the past, we've had tremendous claims in the wind and hail area. 10 years, 8 years ago, they were severe. We were in the vicinity of $500,000 claims. If we would have a $500,000 claim, it would be first dollar expense to the district. If you buy the $100,000 deductible buyback, it would drop that to $100,000 as explained. Are there any questions? The decision is whether you wish to take a $100,000 deductible or the 1.1.
How long have you all been with the district?
This program's been here for in excess of 10 years. I can't give you exact, but I have
10 years.
That's a plus with this program here. I have been with this district probably 15 to 20.
Yeah.
I think I wrote it with Felipe Flores as the finance director at that time. I don't know how long ago that was, sir.
Yeah. I worked with Mr. Pruski since the year 2000. And he's done good, exceptional work for us. Not any questions? The administration recommends the approval of the property casualty premiums for September 1, 2021 through September 1, 2022 as presented.
I mean, I have a question.
Yeah,
We're gonna go over the include the premium 100,000 per occurrence, what he mentioned, or
Yes,
that's what you're recommending?
yes, sir. Thank you.
The 1.1 or the
The,
100,000?
the 248 base plus the additional 55,000 for,
So limit up to 100,000 per person.
That's your recommendation?
that's my recommendation.
Motion.
I got a motion by Mr. Espinosa. Second. Second by Mr. Mata. Nora, you got any questions?
No questions, sir.
Questions from anybody else? All in favor, please raise your hand.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes 5-0.
Mr. President, Mr. Pruski has the next item, C.
Okay, so moving on to C, discussion and action to approve the cyber liability additional coverage for the 21-22 school year. Go ahead, sir.
This is a cyber policy that protects you up to $1 million for extortion, liabilities, forensic, all coverages come into the package. It's a very broad program. We have been tested and it does work. The premium for this policy is the same as it was last year, and it was $7,450 last year as it is this year.
Same coverage and everything.
Same stuff, conditions and everything, no changes in conditions.
You said the same, 7,000 last year, 7,000.
$7,450.
For the policy, 400. You've heard about several of the school districts that had cyber attacks, and
Isn't Del Rio one of them?
Judson ISD in San Antonio. They end up paying, Mr. Pruski.
They didn't release it, but they said there was 2 commas in the settlement. So it's in the middle. That's what they say. I can't say exactly what they.
Goodness.
Maybe
And
it was,
Somerset also was hit at the same time.
Somerset.
It occurred during the 4th of July vacation break. And that was when a lot of schools were targeted. And I visited with the superintendent, and he's very pro firewall, working with the cyber and getting it all protected, because they can put you down. They will they will lock your internet down, your computer will be down. That's what they did with us. Very painful.
All right, any questions? Nora, any questions?
No questions, Eric.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Ramirez, what is your recommendation?
Administration recommends the approval of cyber liability additional coverage for the 21-22 school year as presented, for a fee of,
7,004.
yes, sir, plus the 400, 7,450.
All right, any motion on the floor?
One motion.
I got a motion by Mr. Mata,
I'll second.
second by Ms. Nora Guerrero. Any comments or questions? All in favor, please raise your hand.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Sir, Melissa has joined the meeting
Melissa, what time did she get in?
just now.
Okay, so for the record, Melissa has joined at, what time you got, Ms. Carlos?
6:29.
6:29.
Hi, everybody. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. So-
Okay, hello, everybody.
Aye.
Okay.
Melissa.
All right, Melissa, since we've already voted on this one,
Thank you.
you'll have to just join us from D and then.
Okay, where are we at? What number?
We are on action item 6D.
Okay, thank you.
Let's start on D. Okay, well,
Okay, thank you.
We're in D, but the other group is in,
page 51 on the agenda.
51.
Sure.
51.
Right, the next item,
So they're D then, right?
they're D.
Okay. All right, moving on.
No, that's not D,
No?
no.
Ready for the Texas phone back?
The blank.
It's gonna be, no, blank.
D.
It's Q. Q.
Surveillance?
Discussion, yes, sir, surveillance.
Y'all in for the surveillance?
Yes.
Okay, so at this point, we're gonna skip all the way down to Q so we can get our guest out of here. So at this point, discussion action to approve the purchase of surveillance equipment. Mr. Ramirez?
Sir, Mr. President, members of the board, if you remember, the surveillance system has been somewhat down and not working in certain areas. We had some other issues that we needed to upgrade, some file servers that were moving. In the audience today, we have Mr. Luis Maldonado from Fastball. We're going to present an upgrade to the surveillance camera system for the district.
Are they with the same company that installed, or no?
No.
Good evening, board members, Mr. Superintendent, my name is Luis Maldonado, on integration. With me, I have Marissa Hine from Verkada, the manufacturer presenting today. The district contacted me to do an assessment of all the security alarm devices, surveillance, and access control. And what we found out was that the surveillance system wasn't up to par, wasn't operational, we had no access to it. I did identify some issues with the access control as well as far as no scheduling, which was really controllable. And in none of your campuses you had any type of security alarm systems. So on this presentation, what we proposed was a complete system, surveillance, access control, and security alarms for the high school. And then what I'm gonna do now is just turn it over to Marissa, and what she's gonna do is just explain how Verkada goes hand in hand with the different systems and how it's gonna benefit the school district. One thing I gotta add is 10 years of warranty is what really, as an integrator, really caught my eye on Verkada. We've installed over 2,000 in, I'd say about 9 districts over the past 18 months. And so this is a product that we believe in and that we're proud to be a part of. And here we're gonna turn it over to Marissa so she can go ahead and explain the presentation.
Thanks, Louis. Hi guys, my name is Marissa Hine. I'm from Verkada. We're headquartered in San Mateo, California. So I love being in Texas and we come more often. So just a little bit about us. I'm gonna breeze through this. The main points are we are the fastest growing physical security system in the world right now. The reason being is because a lot of the pain points that schools, municipalities have been seeing over the past 20 plus years have not been updated since. So we've really solved for exactly what Louis had mentioned. Things like being scalable, being easy to use, being able to integrate to all different systems. And most importantly, we have a hybrid cloud model, meaning the footage is stored on-prem on the cameras themselves as well as the cloud. This allows you to access live and historical footage anywhere, anytime on any device that's used. This is our base of products. So we have security cameras, access control, environmental sensors, and Louis had mentioned alarms. All of these integrate together and are scalable. These are some of the biggest challenges that we solve for, specifically within schools. You guys have multiple buildings, multiple schools. How do we integrate them all into one? How do we get them all in one network? Where do we access them all in one place? Video storage. We can store up to 365 days of footage at any given time. Really just making your life easy, giving you the ability to go back and access that historical footage. Ease of use. Very, very simple, user-friendly. We did that intentionally. Bandwidth, we built our system with the intention of you being able to deploy 50, 100 different cameras all in the same network without ever having to compromise the bandwidth, the integrity of the quality. And then maintenance and support, because it's hybrid cloud, a lot of the maintenance issues that you'll experience can be fixed on the back end through our team in less than 5 minutes. When it can't, Louis is here. Easy, smart, and scalable. Just keeping it simple, that's really where we stand out and make your guys' lives easier, and ultimately the students safer. This is what Louis had mentioned in terms of total cost of ownership. So this is what you guys care about, the money. This is really what's saving you guys money here. We have a 10-year warranty on all of our products. To put it into perspective, most products that are in schools currently, the products that you guys have, last about 2 to 3 years. That's every 2 to 3 years you're having to buy new cameras, buy new, access control, pay for that maintenance. What would it look like if you don't have to do that for 10 years? Best-in-class technical support, no ongoing maintenance costs, all of that is showing the total cost of ownership there. I wanted to touch on the CARES and ESSER funding. I do believe this is how you guys would be paying for this. We are compliant with all of that. All of our products fit within this federal grant. This is huge. This could be life-changing for your guys' district in terms of optimizing security and just taking advantage of this grant. This is some of our customers here. I personally am the rep for Texas schools and municipalities, South Texas schools and municipalities. So I get to work with a lot of people like yourself, some people you may know. And just to wrap it all up, I want to leave it open for Q&A, but summary benefits, 10-year warranty, unlimited users. As you guys grow, as you scale, you can continue to add as many administrators, users in the back end forever. Unlimited cloud archive, automatic firmware and software updates. Anytime we release a new feature or anything like that, we actually push it through the back end of your cameras. So you'll wake up in the morning, your system, your platform will be updated, it'll be modernized, we future-proof. And yeah, 10-year cost warranty, predictable renewal costs, very, very simple. That's all I have. What questions do you guys have?
You mentioned you're from California and you're from?
San Antonio, Texas.
So if there's ever any issues, is it something that you're gonna do troubleshoot from there, or you come down here personally to fix the issue?
Both, so it depends. So with our system, because it is hybrid cloud, it's very, very easy for us to fix any networking issues, if Wi-Fi goes off, anything like that from the back end. We have a 24/7 virtual customer support team. You can chat them, they respond in seconds. You can also, you have access to me as your rep, and you have access to our support line. To put it into perspective, 95% of the time when there's an issue with a customer's Verkada camera, we will fix it for you on the back end in less than 5 minutes. In the circumstance where we can't, something's wrong, you physically need to be there, that will happen. That is why we partnered with Fastball, whom we worked with on multiple different deployments throughout South Texas. They do an excellent job. They can come out here, come on site, and be that helping hand if you need it.
Fastball will work outside of the regular day. It won't interfere with the classes and the instruction. And that's another quality that I like as a school official.
Mr. Ramirez, you mentioned that we would implement this where, you mentioned high school or what's the plan?
Well, first we wanted to attack it phase 1 and do the high school. After that, we have a phase 2 that we're putting together for the other campuses, which would include junior high, central office, and then I believe you have the three other elementaries as well.
That would be an additional cost.
That would be a separate phase, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right now, this is for the high school only.
This is strictly for the high school, so we can get all systems together and get you going, because that's where we saw the biggest need, especially without the burglar alarms there.
Can you talk a little about the number of dead spots in the high school?
Yeah, there was certain areas that needed coverage that we looked at and we addressed as far as our recommendations. IT department handed over the existing camera locations, and we kind of focused on blind spots and trouble spots as well. So that way we can have a complete package and your campus is completely covered from them blind spots.
What do we need somebody to, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Nora.
Yes, Mr. Ramirez, I have a question. I want to say maybe 2 years ago, we invested over 200,000 on a computer, on a camera system, surveillance system. Are you saying that those cameras aren't providing us the services that we hired them to do? And my other question is, can't we get them are we under some type of warranty under with them that they can come move the cameras where we actually need them?
Mr. Guajardo is here in the audience.
We had a server that was damaged or corrupted due to an antivirus that was installed from the tech department. And that it over a period of about maybe 6 months, it started deteriorating. And so it got to a point where it failed. After it failed, then we had an issue with the district at the time and the superintendent at the time providing us with the funds to get it repaired. And so it took us, almost 6 months to get it repaired. Right now, we have Flexile Systems working on it, and their best bet on it after I talked to them was that they're gonna rebuild the server. So the server will be an issue because it's an appliance, it's mechanical, and they fail from time to time. With these type of cameras, the cameras themselves are their own little servers as per se.
That's a major
We
difference.
got funded in the 1st of July to get the repairs going, so that's where we're at right now, and that's why we're just now getting some repairs on this particular server.
So the people that installed our cameras, we are under no type of warranty with them?
Yes, we are. Those cameras
Okay,
are working fine. It's the server that's got the problem.
This is not getting rid of those cameras. This is supplementing that, please.
No, it's
No, this is
replacement.
an entirely new system.
A turnkey.
The reason why we are suggesting that this is a better option is exactly the issue you guys have brought about. So the way of the infrastructure, for every 32 cameras with your guys' existing system, you have to buy another piece of equipment. It's called an NVR DVR. So you have all these different moving parts, oftentimes bought from multiple different companies. They have different warranties, it's a whole big thing. The reason why Verkada comes in and solves that confusion there and allows you to be scalable is because you don't need to buy that extra piece of equipment. It's literally just the cameras themselves. And you'll never be limited to the number of cameras you're allowed to have on your network. And not only do those cameras scale throughout your entire district, but access control, alarms, and sensors do as well. This is really huge. So for instance, if I'm viewing my camera of the front door of this building and I scan my badge to walk in, I can actually see as that's happening live. I can see a video of me scanning my badge. It's all integrated into a back end.
On this thing, I mean, would we require hire a person to be doing the surveillance or?
Well, that's the beauty of this system. So you can designate a principal or designate someone at a campus, and we can give them access, and they can be in control of their own campus versus having a PD or a police department physically looking at the server.
Or multiple people.
Or multiple
So you're able to have as many admin users as you'd like, and that's typically up to director of IT, whoever's running it. So you guys all could be added into the back end, and you can allocate different accesses to viewing different cameras at different times, creating schedules, what you're able to do. That's unlimited, and it's really customizable.
We're gonna have a little bit of redundancy. We're gonna have the administrators, but we're gonna have the PD also there at the high school. There are certain areas that have to be observed instead of having all of the cameras up. You can access any cameras, but usually what we do is have a certain set for the PD and another set for the administrators there, even though they have access to it all.
Yeah, but I mean, we're not gonna stop the PD or it's a PD or a campus security.
It's both.
So they're gonna be doing it through either the city or the church department plus, because I don't want, our campus security just to be observing.
No, I think
I mean, they need to be patrolling also,
They do.
especially, on those.
they do, but it's when an incident happens and they need to get,
Information,
Yeah,
they need a
that kind
fire,
We want to convict the criminal.
fire or something.
Yeah, you have
There's a
bigger footage.
whole if you guys had all night, I would share my screen with you and give you a demo. There's a whole bunch of features, like you just mentioned. We have live link sharing. So if you don't want the PD viewing, you want them out there in the field. If an incident happens, you can actually send a text to the police and to the police chief. He'll click on it, he can pull it up and watch the camera, watch the footage as it's happening live.
We're able to use our mobile devices.
Yeah,
as
there's
well.
an app, forgot that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that makes it very.
In terms of structure, that's like, whatever you want to happen you could probably do it. It's very customizable, so it's up to you guys on that end.
How old are the cameras, Jesse, the ones you,
2 years.
2019?
2019? So we have other campuses also. The other idea is you don't have to get rid of the cameras. You can deploy them at other campuses where there's not enough. But eventually there has to be a phase-in plan and all this. So for right now, the highest need campus is the high school. Then we start to look at the other campuses. But we try to make good use of the investment of the district in those cameras. If they come out of the high school and we put Ricada in the high school, then those that come out, we need to deploy in other campuses where there's maybe not a need or we need more.
In other words, what you're saying is, what we have in high school, we could move it to the junior high.
Repurpose it.
Repurpose it.
So we phase them out into their other warranty or whatnot. And
I think it'd be really, really beneficial for you guys to see the full scope of the system in one place. I'm talking all different pieces of hardware and see how they work together in your own environment. And I think from there, you'll know what's best.
How much more of a warranty do we have on the cameras?
I believe 5 years from the time of installment.
It's a 5-year warranty.
But remember, this isn't just about cameras, it's about security, it's about the locking of the doors, data entry,
Talk
card
about-
readers, et cetera. It's more about the whole
Yeah.
system.
Let's talk about that.
yeah, so with this system, you're actually right. It's not just the surveillance, it's the access control, just like Marissa touched on. When you present your badge, that camera's gonna record and generate a recording. Also, another feature is the analytics behind it, especially with COVID. Do you want to go ahead and explain?
Yeah, so that's another thing I forgot to mention. We have facial analytics and vehicle analytics. So there's a little bit of AI back there. So you can actually search somebody by either pulling up a clip of them, clicking on them and saying, show me every single time this person has moved about this specific camera. Oh, or wait, show me every single time this person has moved about my entire facility. With one click of a button, and we'll use AI, read their face, and pull up the exact clip of them moving about your facility over the past 30 days.
And the beauty with having the access control portion tied into it is if somebody's not allowed in the building, you can unlock their credentials and they won't be going in there. So if somebody is possibly infected or through contact tracing, you identified somebody, well, then you can lock them down from actually entering the building.
Yeah.
The analytics also determines a bunch of traffic or high traffic areas.
Yeah.
So you can observe those and determine where you're gonna need the cleaning and your disinfecting and all of that stuff. So those key features on the back end, which is what makes it better than just your typical surveillance. The security system as well, it's gonna integrate with the surveillance. If there's an alarm in that general area, that general zone, we're gonna be able to push video to the cops, to the authorities while the burglary's in progress, and then we can actually hopefully catch the criminal and then persecute them or prosecute them with the evidence.
Exactly.
So that's the whole goal, is a complete system where we can utilize all of the different sensors.
So I'm assuming these aren't wireless, correct?
No, sir, everything's hardwired. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Everything's
so
hardwired.
this is my question is, I know in the past, and I don't know if you were here, Mr. Ramirez, or not, but we've had reports, I mean, we have kids that walk home. And our main strip is Crockett, in between the junior high and the high school, that area. There's been reports of vans trying to pick up kids. I guess my question in hand is, is there any possible way to get cameras out
Yes,
towards the street
yes.
to help out with our students?
Absolutely.
Yes, if that were me, we have different camera options. We have dome cameras in a circumstance like that, where you want to see hyper zoom.
I just don't know where you guys would install these cameras, obviously.
Well, just a
I
perfect
mean, what's
example.
recommendation for you? I mean,
A perfect example that comes to mind is Lockhart ISD. Lockhart's a small community. They have skate parks and public pools right next to the schools. So what we did is we teamed up with the city there, and we actually utilized the school's network, and we did a point-to-point system, and we were able to deploy cameras at those locations that didn't have networks. So we can strategically come up with certain scenarios like that, and we can make that happen. It's just a matter of identifying them and then implementing them.
what is that road that leads in front of the Benito Juarez? Is that Javelina Drive or?
Yes.
Yeah, that would be another one where kids walk home and whatnot.
And be able to set a camera there. If the network's needed on that area, we can build one and then, and address that area, that problem area. Yes, sir.
It can help us at the bus pickup areas, the parent pickup areas. I mean, it's just,
These cameras are really high quality. They're probably better than what you're expecting. Like if we put a camera on the outside of this building here, we could see this full street outside, and you could see the analytics, and you can set an alert. Notify me every single time a white van comes up into this street. You can get an instant text message and email notification. Hey, a white van just pulled up on the street. You can pull up the clip right there with one click of a button. So you can do real-time notifications as well. Yeah. So we
Mr. Ramirez,
yes.
I had another question. The panels that we currently have at our schools to gain access that the secretary controls, are those broken? The cameras don't work on them?
No, again, it's not the cameras, it's the server that's down.
Okay, but my question is, are those controls working?
She's asking about the A-phones, are they working?
Yes.
The A-phones are working, we just have limited amount of A-phones. Access points, we
Okay.
have limited amount of them, so that's what increased the amount of access points that we would have. So we don't leave any kids in between buildings stuck.
Correct.
Thank
Exactly.
But what you're saying is that they came and I know how the high school was built. I mean, there's an area that, I mean, to walk it every day, even security, I mean, it would be hard to see and this and that. And what we have, I mean, it's not covering that. I mean, I know of fights or whatever that nobody can start it.
Do you have
Because, I mean, it's a big area that you have to go and.
the outside of the building? Do you have a schematic or a plan?
I didn't bring it with me. I had a hand-drawn print on it, but yes, we do have a printed.
What's your concern? That you
No, what I'm saying, I mean, I understand why the high school
Oh, okay.
selected. Because, I mean, I have gone as a board member sometimes to walk the different campuses. I go to high school, I mean, getting from the principal's office to the gymnasium. It takes forever, and sometimes, I mean, I see students and I heard this in the past, I mean, that they can hang out in the restroom without anybody on where they are, and because, I mean, it's a long way, and
Yeah,
it's hard for security to be walking. And
totally.
that we could control it.
Yeah, I would use a motion notification alert. You can highlight a specific area or, yeah, there's
It's a
different.
long way, I mean.
Yeah, of
Nice.
course.
And
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Questions?
But,
Melissa, you
I was gonna say something.
go ahead and.
I'm not gonna. I can walk to the high school and I can pinpoint areas where I can smoke weed if I wanted to. Back then, I mean, I'm talking about.
Are you serious? See? Here we go. That's,
Melissa, you got any questions?
we actually have vape sensors as well.
There you
Our
go.
sensors are
There you
vape
go.
detectors. A lot of schools put them in their bathrooms and you'll get real-time alerts. It's pretty cool.
What about drinking sensor?
Drinking, not yet. It's on the roadmap.
Melissa, you got any questions?
No.
Nora, any more?
No, sir.
Okay, so Mr. Ramirez, what is your recommendation, sir?
That's administration's recommendation. Let me get to the letter. I forgot it was Q.
Yeah, it's gonna be Q and R.
Discussion, let's see. Administration's recommendation that the purchase of surveillance equipment is presented by the Verkada representative and Fastball.
Are they both Q and R or just Q?
Just Q?
Are you- I think, let me look at
One
R.
with technology, it's just Q? Okay.
Yeah, that's another one. Just Q.
All right, any motions on the floor?
I motion.
I got a motion by Mr. Mata,
Second.
second by Mr. Reyes Espinosa. Any comments or questions? All in favor, please raise your hand. Melissa?
Said yes.
Yes, Nora?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Congratulations. I'm sorry, 6-0. Correction.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
When do they start?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
That's nice.
Luis, when will you start?
Tomorrow.
Oh, really?
We'll start tomorrow. We'll get together. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you guys for your questions. Thank you.
All right, go flipping the page back to item D. Discussion action to consider approval of the board resolution extending bank depository contract 2017 to 2019 for the second additional two-year term. The biennium September 1st, 2021 through August 31st, 2023. Mr. Ramirez?
Yes, sir, Mr. President. Initially, the first depository contract was a 2017-19. Then it was extended one time for 2 years from 20 to 21. It expires at the end of August. Texas Education Code allows up to 3 extensions of 2 years each. It's a recommendation administration that we extend the second 2-year extension for 21 through 2023 with the Zavala County Bank as our school depository.
That's your recommendation.
Yes, sir.
Motion.
I got a motion by
Second.
Mr. Espinosa. Second by Nora, is that correct?
Yes, please.
Okay, any comments or questions? All in favor, please raise your hand.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0. All right, moving on to E. Discussion action to approve the Crystal City ISD Student Code of Conduct for the 2021-2022 school year. Mr. Ramirez.
This is the basic TASB Student Code of Conduct that is used as the framework for the one that's in the packet here. It's administration's recommendation that we approve the Crystal City ISD Student Code of Conduct for 21-22 school year.
Garcia, I move.
I got a motion by Ms. Nora Guerrero.
Second.
Got a second by Mr. Cruz Mata. Any comments or questions? Is it Spanish and English?
Spanish and English. We got off a little bit on the printing, but it's all correct in the.
All right, all in favor, please raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0. Letter F, discussion action to approve the designation of the delegate and the alternate delegate to the 2021 TASB Delegate Assembly.
Matter that the board amongst themselves,
Nominate.
I second.
For who? Who was nominated?
Cruz. He had a lot of time in his hand.
Yeah. Yo, for what? Whoa. Get the behind what's going on. Whoa. Time out.
Councilman,
Ms. Carlos?
It's to be a delegate for, a TASB delegate for the assembly committee, which takes place once a year, September
At the annual conference,
25th.
TASB convention.
You just, yeah.
The board has they,
Right now, I have issues with my
it's a
mom.
delegate and an alternate, so.
It's one time a year.
Once a year.
Yes,
Once a year, yes.
and they have
Where
the
is it?
board convention,
Austin,
What month is it?
September.
September 25th,
Austin, San Antonio?
doesn't say.
Alaska?
It alternates between Dallas, San Antonio, Houston.
Okay.
You good?
No, good.
We need
Eric or Ray, do y'all want to be the alternate?
I'll accept.
All right, at this point, we have Mr. Espinosa selecting Mr. Cruz Mata, second by Nora. All in favor for Cruz, please raise your hand.
Aye.
All right, the motion passes 6-0. This also claims that Mr. Espinosa will be the alternate.
A motion.
I'll second.
All right, so at this point, we got Mr. Cruz Mata motioning to accept Mr. Espinosa as the alternate. I got a second by Melissa. All in favor? Please raise your hand. Motion passes.
Aye.
6-0. Congratulations, gentlemen. All right, moving on to letter G, discussion action to approve adding and deleting authorized representatives, giving, withdrawing full power to execute the agreement and other documents as may be required to deposit money to and withdraw money from the participant's Lone Star investment pool. Mr. Ramirez.
Yes. The district's fund balance and money is in the Lone Star pool. It requires board action to authorize up to 3 representatives. Administration's recommendation to approve Eddie Ramirez and Mirna Estrada as the alternate for the Lone Star Account Authority, and also to remove or delete users Magdalena Flores and Edward Churchill.
I move.
I second.
I got a motion by Ms. Guerrero. Second by Ms. Guerrero. That'd be Melissa on the second one. Any comments or questions? All in favor, please raise your hand.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0. Letter H, discussion action to approve the Texas Department of Agriculture's Certificate of Authority for External Users.
So, the names was Carlos.
Rosalinda,
Rosalinda Garza? Oh, no, Rosalinda,
yes, I believe it's Garza.
okay. To be the food service clerk that has the authority to do the certificate of authority for
Oh, okay.
TDA in the reporting.
So it can be,
I
okay.
move.
Okay, so I got a motion by Ms. Nora Guerrero,
I'll second.
second by Ms. Melissa Guerrero.
Question, what did you get
Sir, go ahead.
Mr. Ramirez?
Noemi Lopez,
Rosalina works with the cafeteria.
yes.
Any other comments or questions? All in favor, please raise your hand.
Aye.
John?
Oh.
Sorry. Thank you. Motion passes 6-0. I, discussion action to approve the contract between CrystalCity ISD and Rosalinda Rendon LSSP for the 2021-22 school year. Mr. Ramirez?
I through N are going to be all special contracts with diagnosticians, speech therapists, for
LSSP.
for the SPED department. Every year we contract for these positions that we can't fill, so we use contracted services. They're certified providers. You want to handle them one at a time?
Yeah,
I threw what?
I through N.
Yeah,
Those are all the special ed,
all the special ed.
I would like to have M brought through individually, because she's left us like 3 times in the middle of the year.
Okay?
Josie Castillo.
now she's a consultant.
Let's go.
She didn't leave, I don't think she left in the middle of the year. She finished her contract.
Okay, let's go one by one.
All right, so at this point, let's go one by one. We'll start with I.
It's administration's recommendation that we contract with Rosalinda Rendon, LSSP, for the 21-22 school year.
Your motions.
Motion.
I got a motion by Mr. Ray Espinosa. Second by Nora Guerrero. Comments, questions? All in favor, please raise your hand.
Aye.
Melissa?
Me too. Aye, yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 6-0. Letter J, discussion action to approve the contract between Crystal City ISD and Lisa Corbin Scarpa.
Yes, sir.
School therapy services for the 21-22 school year.
It's
I'll
administration's.
move.
All right, I got a motion by Melissa.
Second.
It was not on that motion.
I'm sorry. Y'all sound alike.
Second.
So I got a motion by Nora, second by Mr. Espinosa. Comments or questions? All in favor, please raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0. K, discussion action to approve the contract between Crystal City ISD and Cecilia N. Reina for the 21-22 school year.
Administration recommends the contract services by Cecilia N. Reina.
I'll move.
Is that Melissa?
Melissa.
I got a
Nora,
motion.
second.
I got a motion by Melissa. Or was that Nora? I'm confused now.
It was Melissa.
Okay, and then I got a second by Nora, correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, any comments or questions in regards to Cecilia N. Reina?
Okay.
No.
On this, is that $650 per visit or?
It might be.
Yep,
Okay, 203?
yes.
She's here the whole day or?
They tried to coordinate that way. Yes. And it's for speech therapy. Yep. And they command it.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
It's for
Aye.
Yes, for K, sorry.
K.
We're in K right now.
I'm gonna abstain.
Aye.
You abstain, Mr. Espinosa?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0-1.
Yes, sir.
All right, letter L, discussion action to approve the contract between Crystal City ISD and Cecilia Cavazos, MS, ED, DIAG for the 21-22 school year.
Administration recommends Cecilia Cavazos, education diagnostician for the 21-22 school year.
I move.
I got a motion by Nora,
I'll second.
second by Melissa. Comments or questions from anybody? All in favor, please raise your hand.
Aye.
Motion passes
Aye.
6-0. Thank you all. All right, M, discussion action to approve the contract between Crystal City ISD and Josephine M. Castillo for the 21-22 school year.
I'll move.
I got a motion by Ms. Melissa Guerrero,
I'll second.
and a second by Nora Guerrero. Comments or questions? Is she employed right now?
Oh, it's contracted services.
Sorry, she's a contractor. Okay. No more questions? All in favor for Josephine M. Castillo?
Aye.
Ms. Young,
No,
same or no?
no.
Okay. Motion passes 5-1. Letter N, discussion action to approve the contract between Crystal City ISD and Laura H. Hernandez, MS, MA, LSSP for the 21-22 school year.
That is this right here,
Yes.
that we got right here.
That's the add-on?
Let me get me straightened out here. What letter is that?
It's N.
N.
N as in Nora.
Thank you. Yes, Administration recommends the approval of contract between CrystalCity ISD and Laura H. Hernandez LSSP for the 21-22 school year.
Any motions?
I'll move.
I'll second.
I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
Define event, what is per event, like every visit?
Hey, Joe.
The copy that,
I believe it's per assessment.
per assessment?
Yeah, that's a school psychologist.
He's doing the wrong business.
Yeah, we all are. I got a motion by Ms. Nora Guerrero, second by Ms. Melissa Guerrero. Any comments, questions? All in favor, please raise your hand.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Who was the first one? Melissa or?
Nora, and then
Nora,
Melissa.
thank you.
All right, letter O, discussion action to approve the opening of a new counselor position at Crystal City High School. Mr. Ramirez?
Again, there's been discussion before on the board and also with the pandemic and all the delayed and issues. The board was gracious enough to add an extra counselor at the junior high, especially with the movement of sixth grade. We have 4 grades at the high school, and we're asking for this startup of live on in attendance instruction to have one more counselor at the high school.
Will ESSER money pay for this counselor?
Yes, ESSER will pay.
Okay.
So we'll have a total of 3 counselors at high school?
Yes, ma'am.
So how is the distribution going to be? Letters, I mean, A through so-and-so, and
I'll have to work with administration, but I like the alphabet because it lets them work with siblings of the same family
there you go.
that may be there in the high school. The other strategy
Sure,
is,
I move.
I'm sorry?
Emotion.
moves.
I think she made a motion and I'll second.
Okay, thank you. So I got a motion by Nora, second by Melissa. Anybody has comments, questions?
Mr. Ramirez, you
Yes.
say the other strategy or the other,
Sometimes the other strategy is to move the counselor with the same grade level.
yeah.
So, usually it's a freshman, sophomore, and then 11th, and then 12th.
But you will meet with the administration at
Yeah,
high school and try
it's
to,
be a joint decision, to see what we get our best bang for our buck.
okay.
Any other comments or questions? All in favor, please raise.
Aye.
Mr. Espinoza? Okay. Motion passes 6-0. All right, letter P, discussion action to approve the purchase of vehicles for the CCISD Police Department and Night Watchman.
Yes, it's a long time coming. We're short some police officer vehicles, and we also have some vehicles that are down for night watchman. I think the 2 night watchman vehicles are 24,000. That's P. Let me make sure I get the right paperwork. You see $24,445 a unit. For 2, it'd be $48,890. And then for the PD vehicles, I would recommend that they come with everything. We don't want to have to be sending them out to get lights and get them retrofitted. Chief, is that total amount for all that is?
That'll be the, for each vehicle.
Yes, how much?
And the civilian vehicles will be about approximately 54,000 for just no bells and whistles and police equipment.
But the whole thing with bells and whistles was 57?
120 something, I believe, for the whole bells and whistles.
For 2 vehicles?
Be 200 and,
120 for 1 vehicle?
yes.
So it's not what we're looking at here?
No, this is different. This is for the Night Watchman.
Oh,
Yeah, this.
We're talking about patrol cars.
Yeah, this second page is a PD.
From the buy board, yeah.
The other quote is on the.
Handout.
Handout. Okay, I don't have one. Do I have that one?
So this first one is for for who?
The first one, the first two are for the night watchman and
And
the two night watchmen?
We have the one vehicle for the watchman and then 2 vehicles for the new police hires.
Okay, because there's two vehicles that Irene submitted for the night watchman.
We don't have a quote on the watchman vehicle yet.
I've got this one here from Irene.
What was it again?
Yeah, I've got it right here.
On the, which company would that be?
This one is with Silverado regular cab, 2 pickups.
Yes, that would be the civilian, would be 54 for a vehicle,
Who is that for?
for one vehicle.
But for who?
It'll be just a civilian vehicle, no
Yeah.
equipment.
Well, here it says 2 for 24,445, which is 48,000.
Oh, yes, that'll be correct for 2 vehicles.
2 vehicles.
2 vehicles, correct,
Okay,
yes, sir.
and I was getting worried
and so
about myself, having an episode.
we have 2 and who's gonna use them?
Who uses them in the evening, at night? The night watchman is only one,
There's one in the afternoon and then one at night.
but they share the same vehicle.
They share the same vehicle. Right now, that is the maintenance, the vehicles are running 24/7 between maintenance and the watchman. So we don't have a priority vehicle for watchmen.
You can buy them at Botellos and Carrizo, they're probably cheaper. It's gonna be, just, I mean, driving around, I mean, their units and.
So, and these are coming from Caldwell?
Yeah, these
Oh,
are,
these are.
Silverado, yeah.
And we need 2 of those?
I'm gonna move, I'm gonna recommend one at this point, we only have one watchman.
Okay. That's fine.
Because you said, one's gonna use it during the day and one's gonna use it during the
So
night.
what are we doing about the police?
Okay, we're gonna go to that now. So here's the printout, chief, you wanna come look over my shoulder?
The first one would be from the buy board. That would be the first quote. The second quote would be from Chicago Motors. Those are used vehicles. Some of those vehicles come police equipped. Some of them have minor police equipment. Those vehicles usually run between used 40 miles to about 70,000 miles. They range from anywhere from 7,000 to about 19,000, depending on the mileage. And then the third quote was from the Texas government sales located in San Antonio. That company caters mainly to local city police departments and sheriff departments. They do have a program where they buy vehicles at reasonable prices. However, for police ISD, we would have to go under civilian sales. So we would get last picks. And some of those vehicles have to be towed to the location of the buyer.
No, I don't want it.
They're all, yeah.
I don't want anything towed. This one is buy board, it's for 50,000,
Correct, for the civilian models.
civilian model. How much does it take to?
Averaging with decals and lights, it would be anywhere from 3,000 to about 5,000
Just for one vehicle?
for one vehicle.
Yeah, because we're wiring the lights and the siren and the.
But that's with the extras or just the vehicle and then,
Yeah, that would just be the minimum, which is the police lights and the decals.
and we have to have,
The radios, the radar,
how much would that be?
that would come out about, well, we estimate about 9,000
For a radio?
for radios and radar and the extra equipment.
It's expensive.
And what I mean,
Is that including the lights too, the 9,000?
Correct.
So 50,000 for the unit, another 9,000 to.
Yeah, about another, give or
Okay.
take another 1,000, 10,000.
Well,
because I mean, I understand like the city and the county, I mean, they travel a lot, I mean, these cars are gonna be probably parked, I mean, at the campuses.
And what we estimated on the mileage on per vehicle per year, it's about 3,000 to 4,000 on the yearly for the patrolling, serving the summonses, escorting staff members to home visits.
Mr. Ramirez, do you have a complete quote with everything the police car might need, the lights, the sirens, the radar?
Yeah, we have one, right?
Yes. We have the.
The one that was
the Impala.
57?
I can make copies of that, I can make copies of this.
Did you bring yours?
Mine's outside.
Go bring it.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Go bring it. Can we come back to it?
Sure. Maybe a little truck, I mean.
Well, we could buy more of these
That
others.
Segway, no?
Yeah.
That Segway?
We,
There you go, good for the environment.
if you want to, we could buy more Silverados, they're 24,000.
About to say, you might as well buy one of those.
And then
just
spend,
equip that one.
and then spend money
I
talking
mean,
to.
when he talks
equip it.
about civilian, he's talking about, it's got the little cage in the middle to separate the back seat and the front seat, or what?
It's got the works.
V10
Fully equipped.
or V12?
Yeah, they use, what do you call that?
Stereo.
Vinyl thing for the lettering and the, whatever design. PD, Crystal City PD with a javelina running on the side.
Malo sport paint on that.
It can be as much as you just, design.
It's not a bad idea to get trucks instead of cars.
Yeah, because they're versatile, you can use, they just can't carry anybody though, right?
Well, I mean, did you get a quad cab, yeah? I mean, 4-door.
4-door small, for just a student, how many students are you really getting in the back?
Okay, chief, see what you got.
This is gonna be from the buy board. And it's the, from Rockdale County Ford, and we're looking at the Ford Explorer. 2020 Ford Explorer. It usually has which is a V6. Got a regular interior, power windows, power locks. Those estimates is $56,910 for one. And the buy board fee is $400. Comes out to $57,310.
So this one has an LED spotlight, the one by the door.
No, they don't.
Well, it says here, description.
Description.
Yeah,
It's at the very top.
yeah.
Got bucket seat, it's got buckets, it's got rear bench, full rubber floor, and air conditioning.
Yeah, it's got the light bar,
Activity, tilt, cruise, power window.
suspension.
Completely outfitted, Ms. Young, it would be 57,310 a vehicle.
It'll have it has the tail light, the rear front light knockdowns, and the,
It says here, super, at the way at the bottom, the four Beer Tech Super LED split red and blue headlights and tail light. So red and blue wouldn't that be the light?
Lights, correct.
So this is fully equipped
Yes, the police.
for 57. Or
Yes,
56.9. We always equip
But
this.
but it's used, right?
No, these are brand new.
Now,
Okay, thank
Yeah, these vehicles will be brand new. They take them to another dealer and they install all the lights and sirens.
And this is for one vehicle. One.
Let me see if I can bring it back. I need to study it some more. I need to study it. I'm gonna work with the
I don't
chief.
have a problem with the one on the other one,
Okay,
because we only are recommending one for the night watchman, right?
yes,
just do that one.
yes.
Do that one and table the police one, it's too
I
much
think we
money.
need to keep looking.
Yeah, I will. So administration recommends the purchase of, from Caldwell County Chevrolet, one Silverado for the price of $24,445 plus $400 buy board fee, for a total of $24,845.
Motion.
I got a motion by Mr. Espinosa,
Check it.
second by Mr. Mata. Comments, questions from anybody?
So we're not gonna buy, the cars for the police department, or is that a separate motion?
We're gonna come back.
We're gonna come back to that one, see if we can find something a little cheaper.
So we're
okay.
tabling that part.
We're gonna buy the night watchman.
Just one
For sure,
and table the
yes.
others?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? All in favor, please raise your hand.
Aye.
How is the motion read?
To buy
How
only, to buy only one Silverado for the night watchman. And as far as the patrol car, that's gonna be brought back.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so all in favor, please raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes 6-0.
Mr. Ramirez, maybe if you have something by August 12th during our special meeting, maybe you can update us with it, if y'all have
Yes.
something.
Yes, I'll do an addendum tomorrow morning.
There you go.
Looking at GM or something.
Okay,
All right, so we've done Q, we're gonna go over to R.
yes, sir.
Discussion action to approve the purchase of technology equipment and services.
So part of the E-rate, you have to have everything inventoried and fixed asset also for E-rate. And we have some of that, but we don't have it formalized. So right here on page 220, this is a snippet, and that one is used. Where's that descriptions, Miss, the ones that we got from each one? That was a paragraph, and it was for each one of these items.
I didn't print that out.
Yeah, could we print that real quick? Can we take a little break?
Sure.
I want to do it from memory because I'll leave something out. All of these recommendations are coming out of the technology audit. And so some is for inventory, some is the purchasing of the fixed asset tags. Some of it is some software programs to run all of the Apple and iPad devices that we'll be buying out of ESSER. That's the GAMF Pro onboarding of Mac OS and the iOS devices. That's the one on page 221. On page 222 is the signage that would be at the campuses, Rise Vision, the software and installation of digital signage for the campuses. On 223, the MDF, IDF inventory plus the network topology maps for the door access, security, and campus. So those are the items that are the recommendation of some of the recommendations in the audit that we.
It was the in-house audit that was
Yes.
done.
Yes, sir.
When was that conducted?
That was probably about,
Mr. Harden gave us a presentation on that.
about 1 month ago.
Okay.
This was with Hernandez Technologies. So what I can do is send you the audit, a copy. I'll email each of you
There
the
were
audit.
parents and everything with them had.
But without that, then we wouldn't have a plan of where we're gonna go with the repairs and replacement, the infrastructure, just like we started with the cameras and the security and the surveillance.
So the total of all that is what, so it's the 6250.
6250, 511, 250, 17, 250, it's 8, and another 9. So a little bit under 27,000. Thank you, sir. Vale. So the network closet inventory and campus security maps, the inventory of the network closets is to comply with rules set by USAC, which state the following are requirements of all districts who participate in E-rate funding, as they are required to track assets purchased through the program. E-rate has these requirements. Device records must be kept for 5 years and retained for 10 years. Physical inventory records include knowing the following details: the year the asset was purchased, the purchase order number, the installation date, and who installed the item. The SNIPET Asset Management System, license and support, purchase and implementation of SNIPET and Asset Management System minimizes acquiring, maintaining, and operating assets. The investment is to include licensing and support to comply with local and state regulations. This ensures device accountability by recording device information such as make, model, and so they use a scan gun too with the tags, and then it uploads to the software. Then, of course, buying the tag purchases, those are $5,000. I forget the quantity amount, but it's something ungodly like 5,000 tags. Or then the project implementation of Apple Device Management Solution. The mobile device management enables IT administrators to securely monitor and manage the mobile devices that access sensitive data. It includes storing essential information about mobile devices, deciding which apps can be present on the devices, locating devices, and securing devices if lost or stolen. So you're able to track them and find them GPS-wise. Campus digital signage. Displays will be placed at the campus entrance to interact with parents and students, allowing for an efficient way to distribute day-to-day information, essential memos, emergency information. Gives the campus an enhanced way to interact with student experiences inside the classroom and help navigate the campus smoothly.
So the signage will be inside the building or out on a marquee?
I think it'll be by the entrance on the outside as they come in. I will find out for you, Donacion. It's a good question. That in mind, administration recommends the approval of the technology equipment and services.
Motion.
We got a motion by Mr. Espinosa, second by Mr. Mata. Any comments or questions? All in favor, please raise your hand.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0. All right, number 7, informational items only. A, Savannah County Appraisal District Report.
I like page 226. It summarizes everything. The current levy for 20 is $13,588,035. Year-to-date collected $13,259,890. We're at 98% collection.
Higher than last year, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We always try to, I mean, realistically, I don't, in the back of my mind, I use 96 until I see that a appraisal district is good in the collection, but 98% is good.
All right, B, business office reports.
Business office, we have page 230. I'm gonna close that. I said that last time. Page 231 is the Lone Star. There you'll see the debt service. We have $3,289,992. We have $875,000 that we're gonna be paying on our bond for August. We pay 2 times a year, February and August. August, we have about $825,000, so we'll be around 26 or 2.6, 2.7 million in a balance in debt service. And then the other big one is the general fund, as soon as I find it. The total value of everything that we have in there, corporate overnight plus, construction, debt service, payroll activity, time warner, workers' comp. 104, 204. I'll be. Oh, right there at the bottom of page 231, the general fund, 10,596,126. When you take, you also have the time warrant and payment, that's out of the M and O side. It's like debt service, but not on the INS side. It's on the M and O side. That time warrant, we have $87,158.28. Then workers' comp is a flow-through. We have $861,159. And then we have the EHBA, which is employee health benefit. We have $555,359. We got two more months of payments. And then you have construction fund, and reserve that for future discussion for Thursday. You have $740,334. Payroll clearing account, $98,739. There we have not only the payroll, but some of the deductions that come out, like for IRS or TRS on behalf. And so it looks like one vendor's payment hasn't been drawn out at the time of this printout. Campus expenditure reports. Go to the Solano County Bank, our depository, you see that the markets, securities pledge, 1,259,026. You always want the securities pledge to cover what the amount of money. It can be over, but it cannot be under. And that's part of the depository contract. And then on page 238, you see the portfolio of the securities that are pledged for that amount from the bank. And those are sent to a third party that holds the security. The bank doesn't hold it, and for our benefit, it's to a third party to hold it secure so that we can have access to it. Page 39, that's the Booster Club financial statements. It looks like the band booster has $10,164.44.
Sir, we don't get a report from the athletic booster anymore?
I was just gonna ask,
They haven't been submitted for the last couple of months.
how many months?
This one and the prior one.
I'll follow up with them.
Yeah, because I know they've been holding registration for Pee Wee football. They've been holding, tournaments. I believe a football tournament or something. And I wonder if that's to benefit the athletic booster club or what.
Right. I'll check into it and get that for us.
Thank you.
Are you getting the legal fees out to us, Anna, by email?
We haven't received it this month, so that's why they're not attached.
Okay.
So then you have the vacancies.
Supporting.
And I started to mark through some of mine, but there's another page that I had seen.
So you have an update for
Which one, sir?
I mean, like, I know we're hiring tonight,
Yeah, because some of these are
They're gonna be filled.
filled already or going to be.
which ones are?
Yeah, that's why I'd look at page, behind number 8. Number
Yeah,
8.
we can just.
When we get to closed
Yeah,
session.
we get to closed session.
Over, we get to closed session.
All right, then you have your.
Mr. Ramirez, I had a question on the
Vacancies?
BJMS. Yes, on the vacancies.
Go ahead.
The vice principal for BJMS. Are we gonna fill that?
We're looking at it. I'm not opposed to it, but I know there was talk earlier by my predecessor about not filling that spot. And I'm studying it. The principal has asked me. Right now, they have a principal and they have an instructional coach. They don't have an assistant.
Okay, well, maybe we can talk about it when we go into executive session.
Very good.
Thank you. All right, then the football schedule for the year?
Yes, sir.
Is it gonna come in the newspaper, this week, Mr. Ramirez?
We submitted, right, Ms. Carlos, the football schedule? Yeah.
And what about the, volleyball and the cross country?
That's the only one we didn't have was a cross, right? I saw we had the volleyball, but only the varsity, right?
Yeah, because I mean, I've been asking about,
Yes.
especially the varsities.
Yes. So, I know Nelda was helping me send to the Sentinel, and we had, I believe, the volleyball varsity, the football. But we need the cross country, because I don't have it on my bulletin board.
Okay.
All right.
We have a scrimmage this Friday.
Yes. What time, 6:30?
6?
6?
6:30? Later in the evening.
It was over. 6:30. All right, at this time,
Before we get into closed session, sir, are you looking at, because a lot of committee members have been asking about reserve tickets and what's gonna happen and all that. Can you give us some information maybe by Thursday on?
The what?
Well, the reserve tickets for the football games
yeah.
and all that. I mean, there's been a lot of discussion. Maybe
Yeah.
Thursday you can give us a recommendation
Yes, sir.
of what you feel. I mean,
Yes, sir.
you're gonna go that route or with the COVID, I mean.
I've been digging in every closet and I found some things, so
Yeah.
yes, sir, I'll have something on
Especially, I
Thursday.
mean, all the parents that get.
Sure,
And
sure.
by, reserve, they're saying if it's gonna be, I said, I don't know, I mean, we're gonna bring it up, maybe Thursday,
Okay,
give us some,
can we write that down? We're gonna do an addendum to the Thursday agenda? What was the first time we were gonna do addendum on?
oh, the police.
The police vehicles and then to the football ticket sale.
and also, sir, maybe include, something on closed session in case, I mean, there's any recommendations of these or whatever. In case, so that we won't have to wait, I mean,
Wait
if there's
a minute.
something, fine, if there's not,
So we'll add a professional
personnel in
person.
case, I mean, like, we have teacher aides or vice principal recommendation or something. You can pick them up if there's a recommendation from the campuses.
All right,
Gotta do it tonight.
I'm thinking that's.
Yeah, I need to count the hours, my fingers.
all right, the
Okay.
Board of Trustees will hold a closed session and authorize under Texas Government Code, section 541.074 of the Open Meetings Act. Time is